For most of human history, winter was not cozy. There were no heated houses, no weather apps, no grocery stores, no waterproof boots. And if your fire died at the wrong moment, the cold did not care how intelligent you were. Yet, humans survived winters cold enough to freeze rivers, kill animals, erase food supplies, and turn one bad night into a funeral. So, how did ancient humans survive winter? The answer was not one magical invention. It was a whole system. Fire mattered, but fire alone was not enough. A person standing half naked beside a fire in freezing wind is still losing heat. To survive, humans had to solve several problems at the same time: heat, shelter, clothing, food, movement, and cooperation. And the first problem was the human body itself. Compared with most cold climate mammals, humans are badly equipped. We have little body hair. Long limbs leak heat, and our fingers, toes, ears, and noses cool fast. When the body gets cold, blood vessels near the skin narrow to protect the core. Your hands become clumsy. Your judgment gets worse. Your muscles slow down. And if the cold keeps winning, shivering eventually stops, not because you are warmer, but because your body is running out of fuel. Humans did not conquer winter by evolving into furry beasts. They survived by building an artificial layer between themselves and the climate. The first layer was fire. Fire created heat. It dried wet materials. It cooked tough or frozen food. It produced light. It pushed predators back. And it turned a shelter into a workspace where people could repair tools, work hides, plan the next day, and stay awake together. But keeping a fire alive was a job. Fuel had to be gathered before storms. Dry wood had to stay dry. Embers could be buried in ash, so they stayed hot longer. And if the last fire died, somebody might have to make another one in wind, snow, and darkness. That is why fire was not just an object. It was a schedule. Someone had to feed it. Someone had to watch it. Someone had to carry embers when the group moved. The second layer was shelter. Caves helped, but caves were not automatically warm. They could be damp, smoky, occupied, and positioned in the wrong place. A cave blocked wind. It did not magically create comfort. Humans improved shelters by controlling airflow. They chose protected entrances. They built windbreaks. They used hides, wood, brush, bone, earth, and snow, and they made sleeping spaces above the cold ground. In some Ice Age sites, people built structures using large mammoth bones as foundations or supports, then likely added wood, hides, bark, or other coverings. The point was not luxury. It was to stop wind from stealing the heat their bodies and fires had already made. Even snow itself could help. Loose snow traps air. That means a snow wall or snow-covered shelter can block wind and slow heat loss, even when the outside air is brutal. The material trying to kill you could also help keep you alive. The third layer was clothing. A loose hide over the shoulders helps, but fitted clothing changes everything. It traps warm air near the skin while still allowing a person to walk, hunt, carry wood, and work. Bone needles, awls, sinew, and cord made tighter clothing possible. People could join pieces of hide. They could make sleeves, leggings, footwear, and layered garments. And the closer clothing followed the body, the less heat escaped through gaps. Footwear mattered especially. Cold ground steals heat. Wet feet lose heat faster. A person with a warm torso but frozen feet still has a serious problem. Good foot insulation could mean the difference between movement and frostbite. The fourth layer was food. Winter survival takes calories. A cold body burns energy just to stay warm. Walking through snow costs more. And winter often means fewer easy plants, harder hunting, and longer searches. That made fat incredibly valuable. Fat carries more than twice the energy per gram of protein or carbohydrate. Lean meat alone can leave a person starving even while eating. Winter hunters needed marrow, organs, stored fat, and fatty animals, not just muscle meat. Food also had to last. Meat could be dried, frozen, smoked, or stored in naturally cold places. Nuts, seeds, roots, and other foods could be gathered ahead of time. The winning strategy was not finding dinner every day. It was preparing before food disappeared. And sometimes the smartest shelter was somewhere else. Ancient groups moved with seasons. They followed animals. They returned to protected valleys. They avoided exposed high ground. And they chose places near fuel, water, stone, and predictable food. Mobility was not failure. It was technology. A map stored in memory could be as important as a coat. Knowing where animals crossed, where wood stayed dry, and which valley blocked the wind could save more lives than brute strength. But the most important survival tool was probably other people. One person cannot hunt, gather fuel, repair clothing, watch the fire, protect children, and care for the injured all at once. A group can. Knowledge had to survive too. Where to camp. How to read weather. Which skins worked best. How to preserve meat. How to treat frostbite. How to find the same shelter years later. Those answers lived in people before they lived in books. Winter punished isolated mistakes, but it rewarded shared information. The group that prepared early, divided labor, protected its fire, repaired its clothing, and remembered the landscape had a better chance than the strongest individual acting alone. So how did ancient humans survive winter? Not because their bodies were designed for it, and not because one campfire solved everything. They survived by building a warmer world around themselves. Fire, shelter, clothing, food, movement, cooperation. Winter did not make humans stronger than nature. It made humans better at working together before nature arrived.